You know, it's funny, just when you think summer's never going to end, you flip that calendar and realize you only have about 2 weeks left before the whitetail archery season opens. Hey y'all, I'm Mike. I hope y'all had a great summer. I'm out here on some public land, and I'm going to be hunting that public land Pope and Young this fall, but this trip's for a different purpose. I'm out here looking for what I call throwaway spots. You know, when you're hunting mature bucks on public land, you really got to cross your T's and dot your I's. You got to have your wind perfect, you got to have your scent control tight. Now, if you only hunt when conditions are perfect, you're going to find you don't have a lot of opportunity to get out there. The winds are constantly shifting. So what I like to do is I like to go out and find these, what I'm calling throwaway spots. Spots that I can go into and hunt without impacting my pre-chosen honey holes where I think I got a good shot at a big boy. These are spots for does, pretty much just to fill the freezer. Now, there's no need to be really meticulous with this type of scouting. I'm looking for areas that offer quick access in the evening after work and display signs of heavy usage. A lot of droppings clustered in the area, maybe heavily worn trails leading to bean fields or out on oak flats where deer are going to come in the evening to feed. Of course, seeing deer in the fields is a really good sign that you've got a good spot working. Now, here's a great example of what I'm looking for in a throwaway area. I know from past experience that deer get in here and feed on this mass drop in early mid-September. It's got a lot of white oaks, and right now it's just a few days before the season starts and the sign is really good. There's fresh droppings, good mass on the ground, a lot of tracks. Now, a little later in the season, towards the black powder season, the hunters will get back in here and put a lot of pressure on this hilltop here. I see a lot of tacks get in here about then, and by the time the rut rolls around, you don't see many deer using this hilltop. It borders private property and the deer all get pushed over there. So it's a great spot to hunt early on while there's activity, and it's not going to ruin anything where I really think there'll be a lot of activity during this year's rut. So this is going to be one of my go-to spots early on here to try and take a doe. An alternative to watching bean fields in the afternoon for deer to actually come out, so you can get an idea of where they're emerging in the evening, is walk the edge of the wood lines midday. As you can see, the beans behind me here have grown about waist high, and these plants in front of me are only about knee high and really thin, and the tops of them have been nipped off. Now that tells me that this is exactly where the deer are emerging to feed, and I'm going to find a trail through the brush right over here, coming out of the woods, move back into the wood line about 20 yards and find a tree that I can climb and watch that trail for those does to come out in the evening. Now, here's another great example of an area I'm going to use for a throwaway spot early on in the season. I started working back in off that bean field where the deer had been feeding, and it looks really good. There's a lot of tracks on the trail coming back into the cover. I found a lot of fresh droppings, and there's mass lying around in this thicker cover that the deer can use to feed on as they stage to go out in the field. But I also found this glow tack in a tree, so I know the area is going to get some pressure, and I want to get back in here early on before these guys get in here and push the deer off this late summer feed pattern on the edge of this bean field. I rushed up here this afternoon after work. Now, anybody familiar with the area I live in knows you really don't rush anywhere in the afternoon. So I was in a hurry to get up here, and because of that, I'm not as scent free as I could be. You top that off with the fact that it's a little late. I'll be getting set up a little late, and I'm liable to bump deer. It certainly isn't the evening I want to go bumbling into an area I think a good buck is using. So I still have an hour and a half stand time I can get in, and it's a beautiful afternoon though. That makes it the perfect evening to hunt a throwaway spot. Let me quit wasting time. I'll see you in the stand. See how we do on stand this fall. Click our logo to subscribe and use the bell icon for notifications when new videos are posted. You can use the in-screen video links to join us on a few past hunts and get all the latest online at www.camochairproductions.com.